Check. Audio. Audio, yes.
Hello. Yeah, it's like, no, it's in and it's, no. Yeah, it's not good.
Yes.
1 euro.
Intro. It'll be a really quick intro because most of we've got some impatient rest on there. And then the other thing is that once we're going down to the field, we'll let the rest know.
Okay.
So that's for us. Welcome to the Winter 2025 Roadshow. We're live here from Brossard, Quebec. I'm Alexis Dubois along with
Jeff Rosenblatt.
and we're going to be kicking things off with the 35-plus finals. We have Pacemakers going up against Creaky Joints. Pacemakers finished the season in second place with a 6-4 record. Creaky Joints are the upset of the finals, just squeaking in a 1-9 record. They won their semifinal against the top-seeded team, and they've now made it to the finals. But if we're looking at this roster, an experienced quarterback in Vinny Galano, some FPF veterans like Tony Curry. Jeff, what do you expect to see here today?
I mean, I'm going to repeat what you just said. A lot of FPF vets on the field. We got guys like Tony Curry, Vinny Galano, Marty Friedman for Creaky, and then, of course, for the Pacemakers, we got Jason Rossi and co. So I'm looking forward to a really competitive game.
I think a lot of it's also going to come down to the rushing for Pacemakers, right? Vinny, despite being a slightly older quarterback, as a marathon runner, is in fantastic shape and is very elusive in the pocket. He's not someone who wants to run, but he will buy time. So if Pacemakers aren't able to get that pressure on him, he's going to extend the plays, and then with receivers like Marty, they're desperate to be able to get open. And I just saw, big development, they're now up to 7 players, which is much better than playing 6 versus 9.
Agreed. I saw them at 6. I said this might be a bit of an issue, but a 7th guy's definitely going to help.
Yeah, and it looks like the teams are breaking the huddle. We're moments away from getting started. Let's go down to the field. Perfect. So it looks like we're going to have Creaky Joints starting on offense, huddling from their 10-yard line. We've got the signal from the referees, the hands in the air, and we are underway. Time is in. The finals start now. 2 days of FPF final action. Here we go. So on this Creaky Joints team, Vinny has thrown for 31 touchdowns this season, nearly 1,500 yards. His go-to receiver is Alex Moreau with 12 touchdowns. Let's see who they go to on first down. Vinny takes the snap, looks to his left, scrambles to his right. There's room to run. We're talking about the legs. There they are. He makes the rusher miss and is tackled after a 10-yard gain by Félix Fourreau. That's exactly what we were talking about, Jeff. If Vinny can make the rusher miss, I'm not sure this Pacemaker defense has an answer for his running ability.
I agree. Vinny, very elusive. He's obviously looking pass first, but if he can get by that rusher, I think he's going to be able to make a lot of plays with his legs. Totally agree.
We're now second down, setting up a second and short. This smells like a post to Marty Friedman over top. Maybe it's time to take a shot. You've got some yards. Marty is running a post. Instead, he completes it to the outside. I think Creaky Joints have the smallest numbers in FPF, but if my eyes are decent, that might be Alex Moreau. But again, the numbers are extraordinarily small. So
that is, sorry to cut you off, that is Alex Moreau, and I think you called that play perfectly. They wanted to see Marty on that post and got Alex Moreau on a drag as the check down. Great call by you.
And the Pacemakers picked that up really well. It looks like they're running a corner lock shell here with a safety on top. We do have a fresh set of downs. It was enough for a first down. Marty catch it. Marty bobbles and falls to his knees. A little bit of a finals jitters there from Marty. Very experienced player.
Definitely experienced, bobble, but then made the catch in the end on that hook. Stole that from my playbook. Always do all hooks on first down, get some yards. Helps get your second down. Open up your playbook on second down.
Well, it's second and short, and that's exactly where you want to be. A 2nd and 2 outside the red zone. Vinny can run. He can hit it over top here. Let's see what he's looking for as he looks to his left. He scrambles. He's looking towards Tony. There's nothing there. That was completely covered by the Pacemakers defense.
That was excellent defense, and I kind of agree. I think he was almost looking to run first there. It looked like everything was covered and he had a run in his mind, but nice rush by Chris Brockwell, and now we got a 3rd and short coming up.
Even the way he set his feet after taking the snap, he didn't drop into what looked like a throwing stance. He had 2 legs spread out like he was about to squat. It really looked like he was looking to run first. The good news for this Creaky Old Joints team is they still have 3rd down, 3rd and short. Vinny's under center, takes the snap from Tony Curry, looks to his left. This time he's looking to throw. He finds Tony, and Tony dropped it. That's not something you're going to see very often.
Tony, very experienced player in the league, very sure hands. That is, like you said, an unusual drop from him, and now we got 4th down.
4th and short. This is an interesting time in the game because if Vinny's confident, triple slants, all hooks, little drags is a very easy way to pick up the 2 yards he needs. But even if you look at him on 2nd down, he's looking to run first occasionally. So let's see, does he trust his receivers? If so, he'll look to pass first. If he's lacking a little bit of confidence, this might be when he relies on his legs. Let's see. He takes the snap. He rolls to his left. He is going to pass towards Marty Freeman. Catch, touchdown, Creaky Old Joints. He sold the run. He threw it to Marty. That's 6 points for the Joints.
And that was a great play call. Again, I think you called it perfectly where it looked like he wanted to run. I think maybe his running lane got cut up, and then he had Marty coming on that drag for a touchdown. We got 6-0 Creaky.
And Creaky Old Joints definitely rather going for 2. They've converted on 11 2-point conversions this season compared to only 6 1-point converts. That being said, they have the cone set up for 1. What's your philosophy versus going for 1 and 2?
It's a great question. Obviously, if you go for 2 and you go 1 for 2, it's the same as going 2 for 2 in your 1-point converts. So personally, I've started going for 2 a lot more than I normally have just based on the analytics, and I think Vinny has been doing the same thing.
And I think you should go for 2. It's what I definitely rather, but he's going for 1 here, maybe trying to get some safe points. He's throwing it to the back of the end zone. That was wide open. Marty Freeman with the touchdown, the 1-point convert to add to it, 7-0. So as you go up the divisions in FPF, you stop counting your games in scores and you start counting them in stops, right? 1 or 2 mistakes in Division 1 is enough to lose you the game. In this 35-plus final for a lot of experienced players, do you think it's going to be a 1 or 2 stop game, or are we expecting more stops than that?
I think it will be more of a 1 or 2 stop game. I think these are very experienced quarterbacks that know how to get that 10 yards after 10 yards for 4th down, so I think it's going to come down to stops.
And now let's see as our first look at this Pacemakers defense with Jason Rossi under center. All hook play on the first drive. Snapped, caught immediately by, that is number 9, Scott Binns.
I think their numbers are a little bit off because I believe that is Chris Brockwell, if I'm looking correctly. I think they have obviously been mixing jersey numbers through the year because Scott Binns right now wearing number 13 as their snapper, and that was Chris Brockwell that caught that. So shame on them for confusing the broadcasters, and we're going to have to talk to them after the game.
Or shame on us for making a mistake. Either way, it is 2nd down, 2nd and 3. Rossi standing on the center, flares his hands, catches the snap. He's looking deep. He keeps on looking deep. The pass is going over the top towards Ugalamo. Touchdown, Pacemakers.
That was an unbelievable route and a great toss. That's a dime from Jason Rossi right there.
And getting behind Marty Freeman, who might be the fastest player on the pitch, is not an easy challenge. But Ugo routed him, got behind him, and caught the 6-point convert. High fives right now. So we were talking about before, 2nd and short is when you're looking for that deep post over the middle of the field, and that's exactly what they hit.
Yeah, when you have 2nd and short, you know you have 2 other downs to get that 1st down. Why not take a shot on 2nd and short, what the Pacemakers just did, for 6.
And now in terms of the Pacemakers and converts, they seem to go interchangeably for 1 and 2. They've scored 10 of each this season. They've opted to go for 1, probably in response to Creaky Old Joints scoring 1-point convert, trying to tie the game here on a 1-point convert. Passes towards Ugo, bobbled, but caught at the front of the end zone. It is a 7-7 game. Not a safe catch. The pass was slightly behind him, but the point is what counts.
We're going to call that the Hugo drive. He got the touchdown on the convert. I know Jason very comfortable throwing to Hugo on all types of different routes, and we have a 7-7 ball game.
He definitely has a size advantage as well. I don't think there's anyone who can high point the ball with him on this Creaky Old Joints defense, so this could be a receiver in for a big game. But we're starting a fresh 7-7 tie game, 3rd drive of the game with Vinny under center. He's looking towards his right. He's looking towards Tony. Tony does not bobble this one. He slightly runs into the defender, tackled, hands outstretched. Not sure what he's asking for. He's got his flag back. And again, 2nd and short. These yards on 1st down are so important because it opens up absolutely everything else in the playbook.
Totally agree. That's a huge philosophy of, I know a lot of quarterbacks in FPF. Let's get yards on first down, which really opens up the playbook for the next 3 downs.
And Tony averages 7.5 yards a catch this season. That's exactly what we saw there, roughly a 7-yard gain on first down, all hooks on second down. Was that dropped or swatted away?
I think that may have been a drop from Alex Morrow, who definitely normally has sure hands. So that's not something I believe we're going to see a lot in the game. But like you mentioned earlier, maybe there's a little bit of finals jitters going on.
Yeah, Morrow's caught 41 of 51 passes thrown his way this season. Are those 10 drops? Are those 10 misses? We're not sure. But that's going to be one more miss in Morrow's stat line. He's not going to be happy about that. But we're living the play again on third down. Vinny's scrambling. He's buying time. And another drop, this time by
That I
not
believe
Yoni
is,
Leiter.
I believe that's Denis Martel. And I think this team got new uniforms, possibly for the finals, just to confuse us. So again, we're going to talk to them after the game about this.
We're going to do our very best because I know Yoni. That is most definitely not Yoni.
That is not Yoni. Correct.
No. Anyways, well, we know most of these faces, so we'll do our best just by name recognition. But either way, it's I believe now. Is this third or fourth down?
It's fourth down.
It's a
I believe
fourth
it's
down and
fourth.
3. Buys time. Intercepted.
Oh,
That being said, Marty was checked off the ball. Intercepted by number 1 by Kenton Lowe, who's the leading DB in 35 plus. That being said, Tony's hand is in the air. The defender was checked. I would challenge this right now. That's a game-changing interception. Let's see if we can get a replay. But Marty was bodied off the ball, which led to the pick. I am challenging this play.
Yeah, that was definitely a physical play by Kenton. Here's the replay now. Let's see. Was Kenton set? Tough to see from that replay,
But I believe we do have a challenge. Is this Brent walking up to the box? Let's get another replay of this.
yes. Okay. Let's take a look here. Ooh, that is close. I don't know.
When I saw it live, my instinct was that's pass interference or at least illegal contact. I am perhaps the most defense-friendly announcer you're going to have all day. So if I'm telling you that's defensive pass interference, I think you can take that to the bank. But I'm not the ref. We'll see what the call is. And we are looking for something convincing to overturn this. We have to remind ourselves the call on the field will stand unless we have enough video evidence to come to a different conclusion.
Totally agree. After seeing that replay, obviously there was some contact. I guess the question is, was Kenton in the spot before Marty ran into him? I'm not sure. It looked close. I guess we'll see. We have Brent Young in the replay booth right now.
A very seasoned official.
Yeah, I guess he's a decent official. We'll give him that. Yeah, we'll give him that.
100%. Just the best for the finals.
Agreed. So let's see.
From what I see, Kenton is stepping up. His feet aren't set, right? He's driving through the ball, trying to make a tackle or the flag. And since his feet aren't set, I think he's the one who initiated contact. Marty most definitely did not see him. And from Marty's perspective, you do not want to initiate contact with Kenton because you're not winning that one.
I'm going to say if I'm Marty, I'm avoiding contact with Kenton at all costs. But I think you make a very good point, which is it looks like Kenton's feet were not exactly set. So I think it is pretty close. Let's see. You know, I can see Brent is taking a look at a few different ankles right now in the replay booth. And
But for me, what we have on the screen right here is, look, we have both players in motion. They are both trying to make a play on the ball, but Kenton is in motion and is going to initiate contact with Marty Freeman, who's coming from the right-hand side of the screen, crossing across before the ball gets there. Look, in motion, stepping up, contact shoulder to shoulder. Marty falls and then makes the pick. And you see Vinny points immediately, hand outstretched. Again, we're looking at this replay again. I think this is your best view, folks, here on the screen. But you really see Kenton coming downfield, making a nice play. There's no ill intent here, to be clear. But right here, look at their shoulders. Marty's right shoulder comes in contact with Kenton's left. That slight jolt is going to pull Marty backwards and gives Kenton the step he needs to make a play on the ball. And as you can see here, we have contact. The ball's still in the air. I think this is pass interference. But as a reminder, we have absolutely no say. We're just the talking voice in your ears.
It looks like Brent has now finished with his replay. Is going to go down to the field and make the call. I think this is a very close one. Could go either way.
He did whisper the call to us, and I think we were too busy talking to hear it.
Yeah, it's we definitely missed that one, but looks like the call is coming.
Let's see. confers with the other officials. We are still waiting on the verdict. And for the record, time is stopped during.
Okay, so it looks like the call stands. Is that correct?
Interesting.
Yes.
Yes. We don't know if it's call stands or inconclusive. I guess the call stands since we had a very good replay of it. Either way, that is a stop. That is an interception by Kenton Lowe. Brent Young clearly disagreed with us, which means we have our first stop of the game. If this is a one-stop game, this could be your changing point on a video replay. So what that means is Creaky Joints have lost their one and only challenge, and they were just intercepted by Pacemakers.
But I agree with you. I think that could have been a game-changing play where you definitely wanted to use your challenge. Unfortunately, it didn't go the Creaky Joints way, and let's see what happens on this drive.
It was definitely the right call to challenge it because this could come down to being a one-stop game. Either way, now Rossi has the ball in his hands. He's looking towards the sideline. That's completed towards Anania. Tackle is made by Moreau after a gain of 8 yards. And we're setting ourselves up into what's now a repeat pattern in this game, 2nd and short.
Yeah. Again, I'm looking at the numbers on the sheet. I believe who caught that? That was
Justin Anania.
Correct. Yeah. So Justin, not number 21, trying to confuse us once again. I'll be on the field at halftime talking to all these guys.
100%. We'll come out there with a Sharpie. We'll rewrite the numbers. Not that Sharpie numbers are allowed. Either way, it is 2nd down. Numbers regardless, we will get the call right. Scott Binns catches this one. Tackle is made immediately. Let's see, is this good enough for a first down? It is not. Is that an inch short or 2 inches short?
I want to say we got 3rd and 1.5 inches right there.
I think 1.5 inches is the exact call. 2 inches. Oh, the cone was moved backwards. We're now at 2nd, 3rd, and 2 inches. That's a big difference there. A little kick of the cone.
What do you think is going through the head of Vinny Galano right now after throwing that pick?
I don't think it's something we can say on camera. Definitely not something we can say on camera. He's a very fiery guy. He's a competitor. He loves to win. And I'm 100% sure that he thinks that was pass interference. For the record, I think he's right. The referees disagreed, and that's very much their right. We have Jason Rossi here running for the first down. So we now have first down at roughly the 8-yard line. Essentially 4 2-point converts coming up. Are you looking end zone immediately, or are you trying to cut this in half first?
So me personally, I would be looking to cut it in half. I know the philosophies of some quarterbacks are a little bit different. Jason could be considered a gunslinger, so maybe he's taking
got a great
4
arm.
shots. He does. Maybe he's taking 4 shots at the end zone.
I'd look for comebacks on the outside. He's thrown a comeback on the outside towards Anania. Tackle is made immediately by 21 on Creaky Joints.
Yes, that is Mark Farley. That I know. And nice tackle made by Mark. Looks like that was a gain of
4 yards roughly. We're
Yeah.
now at the 5-yard line. So we've gone from a 2-point convert to a 1-point convert. 4 chances for 2, 3 for 1. 2nd down from the 5-yard line. Pacemakers trying to take their first lead in this game after a huge Kenton Lowe interception. Let's see what Jason can cook up with the ball in his hands. He's looking to his right. He flicks his hips, throwing towards the back of the end zone. Once again towards Justin Anania. The tackle was made by Vinny Galano at the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal from the run.
Yeah, it looked like did he bobble it, or Vinny was trying to knock it out? Something was going. I looked like maybe he just has huge hands and was trying to reach that ball over. But
he was actually trying to reach that behind his back. If you saw, he caught it. And he was then trying to stick it out behind him. Not an advisable play in tackle football, but in flag football it works. As a reminder to all those of you at home, the ball is now spotted at the tip of the ball and not the hip. So all you need for a touchdown is for the ball to cross the plane. We have 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. We have trips to Rossi's left. A sole receiver spread out wide. Snaps the ball. He looks into the trips immediately to Scott Binns. That is as easy a touchdown as you'll get. They're going for 1.
I got to say, the Pacemakers are looking very good right now. They look good on D. They're looking very good on offense. Jason looks composed. If they get this convert, they'll either have a 7 or 8 point lead. Let's see what they decide to go to. It looks like they're going for 1.
They're not looking like they're making any mistakes, right? The closest they came to mistake is what could have been a call. That's an okay contact to make. If it's a 50-50 call on 4th down, take that every single day. Sometimes you'll get the call, sometimes you won't. But now they have the lead. It's a 6-point lead, trying to stretch it to 7. Let's see what they're dialing up here for 1. Jason drops the snap, and that should be whistled dead.
Yeah.
The snap was a little bit high, but was most definitely catchable. We still have a 6-point game.
Agreed. I think Jason could have caught that, but I guess as per FPF rules, if the ball gets dropped, it becomes up to the referee's discretion as to whether they think there could be a safety situation as to whether or not they call the play dead or not.
And we see here Creaky Old Joints are coming out quicker. They're going to try to speed up the pace in this game. Already down 6 points, and they don't have the ball in the second half. Going deep immediately. That's off the fingertips of Mark Farley, someone who you'd usually expect to reel in that catch.
Yeah, it was a nice route by Mark. Kind of just looked like a streak down the sidelines. Vinny put it on his hands, just maybe an inch or two too deep for him, but nice play nonetheless.
He stretched out for it and was just, just an inch off that one. Definitely could have been caught. It's interesting. We've seen every single game, first down on every single play has been short from both teams. Going deep on first gives them the option then a sack. Sacked on second, incomplete on first. Vinny's looking slightly frustrated. We went from what could have been a 20-yard gain to second down, a sack, and we're now staring down third and long. That was a 4-yard loss. 3rd and 14 coming up for the Creaky Old Joints. That's a long way to go.
3rd and 14, obviously not where you want to be. I would assume Vinny's probably going to try and get about half of it back, leaving himself with a manageable 4th down.
100%. This sounds like Alex Moreau time, who is the leading target for this Creaky Old Joints team. He's posted across the middle of the field. Instead, it's towards Marty near the first down. The ref is signaling first down. That was a great route. What did you see there? How did Marty get open 15 yards down the field?
I mean, did Marty run in just an out? Just looked like basically an out. Yeah, got a little bit of separation from his guy at about 12 yards, and then looked like he reached just to get the first down, so we got first and down Creaky Joints.
So what we had there, I think Marty was coming out at the first, the wide right was coming in just a bit yard deeper, and that natural rub concept gave Marty that 2 yards of separation he needed, a huge 3rd down catch, and we've now reset the sticks. Vinny's scrambling towards his right, there's pressure on, he throws it, and he does not throw it. He eats another massive loss. We talked early in the game about how huge rushing was going to be. We thought it was in Vinny's favor. It is clearly not. That's a 10-yard loss. We've gone from 3rd and 14, first down, and now 2nd and 20.
Wow, that was an unbelievable rush by Chris Brockwell. He didn't leave his feet after a few Vinny Galano pumps, which is how Vinny often gets separation. This is what you see a lot in 35+, a lot of savvy guys that have been around a long time that really know other people's tendencies.
But at a certain point there, Vinny also is an extraordinarily savvy quarterback. He's got to get rid of that ball. There is nothing wrong with an incompletion on first down. You can very much recover from that. What's hard to recover from is running out of bounds 10 yards down the field. Let's see what he has in his bag of tricks. On second down, he's looking deep towards Marty. It is caught. There is contact. Marty goes down hard. He springs back up. He is a spring chicken. He's got those 10 yards back, but we still have 3rd and 10.
That was a very dangerous throw. It looked like into a lot of traffic. I thought maybe a pacemaker defender may have jumped that and gotten the pick, but Marty made a great play. And like you said, now we got 3rd down and a little bit more manageable.
Thankfully for Creaky Old Joints, because 3rd and 20 is not where you want to be. That was a do-or-die second down very early in this game. That being said, still 3rd and relatively long. Tony is open, makes the catch. He's going to twist and turn his way. First down. That's exactly what you get out of Vinny Galano. There is no panic. There is no stress. 2nd and 20. He's been there. He's done that before, and he executed perfectly.
Very sure hands by Tony Curry. That's something you're going to see from him as well. He's running just almost like a little hook or flare a little bit to one side, catches the ball, gets those yards, and like you said, nothing going to phase Vinny Galano at this point.
I've played with Tony. While he is a fiery player, he's definitely one of the savvier ones. He's got that connection of his quarterback where he doesn't really need a route. He will be in the right spot. But now we have Vinny scrambling to his left. Touchdown, Mark Farley. Is he in bounds? Tippy-toe Farley catches it for 6. We have a tie game.
Like you said, they went from 1st and 20 to now scoring a touchdown. That's a huge momentum change for this team. I believe the score
13-13
is 13-13. So with the extra point here, they could definitely take the lead.
They can take the lead, and the one advantage of starting with the ball, at least in my perception of it, is it feels like you have a free interception in the first half. Not quite, but depending on how you manage clock, if there's a time to throw a pick in FPF, and to be clear, there's never a good time, that time is when you start with the ball in the first half, because you can still keep it to a one-possession game, and now they have a chance to take the lead going for one, throwing it towards the cone. That is swatted away. It is not caught. He was targeting Alex Moreau on the play. It is still 13-13. Pacemakers take over with a chance to take the lead. 3:35 left in the first half.
So far, I like how the first half is going for both sides. Creaky sort of responded from throwing that pick. We got a tie game now, and if the timing works out.
I think the ref just signaled we're entering the 2-minute pro clock. What that means is that NFL-like timing rules apply. We'll get into it more in a second because right now we have first down. Rossi has the ball in his hands. He's going to take off and run. Tony Curry dives at him, misses. Jason takes a tumble. Everyone gets back up. That being said, it's a 7-yard gain, and the clock keeps on ticking. So those timing rules we talked about. On first down, the clock will stop and will resume on the ready-to-play whistle. Other than that, an incomplete pass and getting out of bounds will stop the clock. Touchdown stop the clock, and the clock does not run on converts. What that means is you have a little bit more time. We now have a bunch set slightly towards Rossi's right. He looks towards his right. He goes towards Brockwell. It is very nearly intercepted by Galano. Should that have been a pick going the other direction?
That was a dangerous pass to Chris Brockwell with Vinny lurking right behind him.
We're going to have the replay right here. I think Vinny's slapping his hands in frustration. For me, this could have been a pick six because if he comes up with this, there's no one between Vinny and the end zone except Jason.
I agree. Vinny was just a half step late. If he had that extra half second, I think he jumps the route fully, and we're probably going to see a pick six.
If he did slightly less marathon training, a bit more sprint training, I think he would have got that one, but he is a marathoner first and a football player second. Rossi now on second down, again makes the rusher miss, has loads of space to run, stops up, drops the ball. That's one way. It counts as a tackle. First down, clock is stopped. If you're the Pacemakers right now, do you want to score quickly to try to get the ball back, or are you stringing this out and trying to score with a few seconds left?
You know, I always like playing the clock game. If I could milk this clock and give myself 20 seconds left for the few shots at the end zone, that's for sure what I'm doing. There's always the philosophy, do we take the score when we can get it?
I very much agree with you on that one, Jeff. Take your time, and that's what we see here. We have all hooks. It's towards Scott Binns. He tries to reel it in with one hand. It's incomplete. It's a drop pass. The clock stops. It's not a disastrous play. The difference between a 5-yard gain clock running and an incompletion clock stop for me, just about the same.
Yeah, I definitely agreed. Obviously, depending on the timing and what's left in the game. But I think the Pacemakers, if they complete a first down here, may try to milk the clock all the way to the end of the half.
And remember, Pacemakers are taking over the ball in the second half. So they can score here, go up 6, then double dip at the start of the second half, which could be a stranglehold. Rossi is now looking end zone. He's aiming towards Kenton low. Mark Farley tries to get a big, strong hand on that one. That being said, Kenton was bigger and stronger. Reeled that one down. What a catch.
That was a huge play by Kenton Lowe because Mark Farley was in very good position to either get in the way or try to bat the ball down. Super strong hands from Kenton Lowe. That's a big catch.
My instinct on that was, oh my God, it's going to be a pick. Oh my God, it's going to be a pass defended. How did he catch that? It was a strong catch. This is a very strong man. And despite a hand there trying to rip it out. And those are the veteran plays you see in 35+. It might not be the fastest division in FCS, but it is most definitely the smartest. We have third down now from just outside the end zone, completed towards Chris Blockwell. Might have been a flag guard. Mark Farley comes up with the flag. It is not a touchdown, but it is a first down, which means clock is stopped. And I think I heard 1:13 left. Crazy idea. If you're Creaky Joints, you let them score.
I think I do. I have enough faith in my offense that with 1 minute and 5 seconds left, I'm going to be able to easily go down and score. So first and down from the 4-yard line, tough to stop, 4 downs.
Clock is in now. Clock is running. The snapper needs to take a step to his left. He does. And if you're Pacemakers here, burn some clock. Because the worst case scenario for Creaky Joints is going down 2 scores. Marty Friedman is barreling in, completed towards Scott Binns. Caught, touchdown, Binns. Vinny did not make the tackle fast enough. That being said, I think that was the best case scenario. They now have roughly 1 minute left to go back and tie the score up in this game. They're still in control. This is still a one-possession game, and that's all you can ask for in a finals. They're going for 1 up 6, trying to make it 7.
I completely agree. I don't think that's a disastrous situation at all for Creaky Joints. What you didn't want is for them to take 3 knees and score with 20 seconds left. So now you have 1 minute left to go down the field and score. Let's see what happens.
Exactly. And Justin Anania has been the leading receiver on 1-point convert attempts this season for the Pacemakers, catching 3 of them. Brockwell has hauled in 2, but this is a team that can go for 1 or 2, equally having success on either. He's looking here towards Anania. It's picked off by Alex Moreau and tackled. But he does seem to have the guys he likes to go towards, and he's frustrated. Anania is running in on the goal line. There is a hook trying to pick the defender. Moreau broke through that, got the interception, keeps it at a 6-point game.
Very nice read defensively there by Alex, jumping that. And again, like you said, they have a minute left, down by 6. If they can milk this clock and score a touchdown, we have a tie game, or roughly a tie game at halftime. Let's see what happens.
And that's all you can ask for. In FPF, after you throw an interception, if you can go to the half with a tie game, even if you don't start with the ball, that's exactly where you need to be, because your mistake has slightly disappeared. Vinny takes the ball, first down. He's looking towards the sidelines. Intercepted by Justin Anania.
I gotta say, it looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication between Vinny and his receiver right there. Maybe the comeback went a little bit too long. Justin jumped it. What a great play.
Fantastic play by Justin, but you hear it time and time again. Fight back to the ball, attack the ball, hands out. The receiver, and I've been guilty of this many times, was waiting for the ball, and that's what gave Justin the step to beat him there. Now, this is the biggest drive of a game. We talked about double dipping. Pacemakers have the chance to triple dip. They can score now, go up 2 scores, and then start with the ball, which would essentially be a smother hold on this one. This is a do-or-die drive for the Creaky Old Joints defense.
I am going to steal that term triple dip from you, and I'll be using that again, just letting you know.
Perfect. Hopefully as a team name next season. Now, 45 seconds left in the half. Rossi has the ball. He has a crosser to Kenton low, and he misses him. He missed Kenton or Hugo, 2 tall receivers. Not easy targets to miss, but the clock is stopped.
Vinny played really good defense there on Kenton, covering that drag. Ooh, does that mean last play, correct?
I believe that does mean last play.
Okay, I think we're not getting the right timing, so we'll try and get that fixed up, because I agree. I heard there should have been about a minute left if we were doing that properly.
We've got decent mental clocks. As either a defensive coordinator or as a quarterback, you have to have that clock ticking in your head. We were around 30 seconds. We were clearly off there. We're still getting into it. This is our first final of the day. We're shaking off the rust. We have the final play. Now, this looks like Hugo Alamo time. You can see number 5 of the Creaky Old Joints is shifting over to the left. He seems to be their tallest defender. Rossi takes the ball. He looks towards his right. He makes the rusher miss. That's a lot of time. Fires it towards Hugo. It is incomplete. No flags on the play. Halftime, the Creaky Old Joints needed to have a stand, and that's exactly what they had. Jason is complaining to the ref, to his players, to himself. Either way, he does not look like a happy camper.
Huge stop there from Creaky. Had they gone down 2 scores with the possibility of going down 3, the game could have potentially been over. But now, even though Pacemakers start with the goal, this game is very much within reach from Creaky Joints.
We're back to being a one-mistake game. The Creaky Old Joints made their mistake. On 4th down, the Kenton Low interception right now is the difference in this game. Yes, and we will come face you now. That interception is the difference in the game. So to win this, Creaky Joints have 2 options. A, it's a given they need to play perfect on offense. No more stops. That being said, they either need now a stop on defense or a successful onside kick. What do you think has a better chance of working?
I want to say that a stop is probably more likely, because if we probably did the stats of how many conversions of onside kicks happen, I don't think it's more than 50%. But at the end of the day, I think that Creaky Joints have the ability to get a stop, and I'm expecting their defense to be a little bit more aggressive in the second half.
100%, and it's fun to play down a score nearly. It's strange to say, but you can start getting more aggressive. When you used to be comfortable sitting, waiting for them to make a mistake, the best case scenario for Creaky Old Joints is giving up a 40-yard score because it keeps the game moving quickly. Jump something underneath. Jump that hook. Getting burnt on a hook and go for a 40-yard score is not the end of the world, because more drives means more chances to make a difference. So if you're going in now, if you're Pacemakers, how does this change the way you attack the second half?
I mean, to your first point, I completely agree. I think you'd be a little bit more aggressive on defense for all the reasons that you mentioned. And if I'm the Pacemakers, I'm probably thinking they're going to be more aggressive on defense. So I'm going to take that 40 shot if I see that they're playing more press coverage or really short. So that'll definitely be something that I think Jason will factor in when he's calling his plays in the second half.
An experienced quarterback like Jason will know exactly what to do. And if you look at this Pacemakers offense in the first half, it has been safe. There have been no close calls. They've been placing the ball well. There was one miss, I remember, towards Hugo, which was missed high and out of bounds. This doesn't seem like a team that's going to make the mistake. So if you're Creaky Old Joints, you can't wait for a missed pass. You can't wait for a drop. You need to create something. From the defensive standpoint, do you try man? Or are you trying a different zone? How do you adapt your defense to try to produce that stop?
I think you definitely probably have to mix in a little bit more man. Maybe when you're calling your zones, you're calling the zone, but you're moving people around really quick right before the snap, mixing things up. But I'm probably going like what you said, a little bit more man-to-man and try and jump some routes.
And let's head our attention back now down towards field level as second half is underway here. I'm Alex Dubois in the booth along with Jeff Rosenblatt, live from Brawl Circle back. Jason Rossi takes the snap. The rusher is not in position. He runs 7-yard gain on first down. He took advantage, but if the refs whistled in and the rusher is not set, take that free run.
Agreed. Something I've noticed a little bit from the Creaky Joints rushing, whether it's Tony or Denny Martel, is they're rushing, but they're kind of looking to take away a slant right away or take away a hook right away. So it's taking them a little bit longer to get to Jason, which is going to let him use his feet.
Not a quarterback who's known for his running ability, but he will take it if it's there. That's what he took on first down. We're setting up a second and medium. He has Kenton Lowe over the middle of the field, bobbles it, tips it. We were just saying Pacemakers don't make mistakes. They play it safe. That was dangerous. The last thing you want to see up 6 points is that ball spinning in the air.
Yeah, that looked like Kenton ran a dig route or an in route, and that pass looked a little bit behind him. And with passes that are a little bit behind, it could get tipped up and defenses could make a play. Fortunately for Jason, it didn't get picked off.
That being said, Mark Farley was breaking on that ball from the opposite side of the screen. If you ask me, Jason placed that ball behind Lowe, expecting him to slow down in the hole, seeing Farley attacking it from the other side. That can be as much on the quarterback as the receiver. Either way, is third down. Kenton Lowe's running the out at the sticks. That's a traditional FPF concept. You had a receiver running a fly, pulled the corner deep, 10 out behind the short defender. That is one of those classics. It is money.
Yeah, Kenton Lowe is definitely a problem. This is a guy with very, very, very high football IQ and the skills to back it up. I would be looking at Kenton a lot in the second half if I was Jason.
He was the best player in 35-plus this season, if you ask me. 425 receiving yards, 13 touchdowns. He had the most interceptions, 6 INTs, returned 2 of those for touchdowns, 2 PDs, an all-around stud. Jason's now taking off again, looking to run. Is that run something he can rely on for yards on first down as a way to burn some clock, take an easy 4? Is there a rusher change that needs to happen for Creaky Joints? How do you adapt?
I'm looking right now. It looks like the 2 people that have been rushing have been Denis and Tony, which I don't think are necessarily known for rushing. So that's probably in the back of Jason's mind saying, hey, if I need 4 or 5 yards on first down, I could probably beat the rusher, and I'm going to take it if I need to.
So this Creaky Old Joints team has 4 sacks all season, which is not very many. 2 from Alex Moreau. Let's see if they take Moreau out of coverage and put him in as a rusher. Hook completed to Anania on the sideline. Tackle made by Vinny Galano. Is that enough for a first down? No, we are second up another 3rd and inches.
So there it looked like Vinny was obviously playing the deep. So he backs up because he has deep coverage, but that's just too wide open for the receiver on the playing the wide out, and especially down a score in the second half. I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive.
Take some risk. It was all hooks. If Vinny can read all hooks, that's a great way to take your first step backwards, plant that foot in the grass, and drive for what could be a huge pick. If anyone can do it, Vinny most definitely can. Is this 4th down? He runs towards line of scrimmage, outstretches the ball. Big call coming up. First down by roughly a foot.
Yeah,
so this is where the spot of the ball makes all the difference. His hips did not cross line of scrimmage, but that outstretched ball most definitely did.
It definitely looked like he reached out for the first down. I believe the call was correct. And now it looks like we have a 1st and goal from roughly the 6-yard line. So let's see what Creaky Joints have on defense right here.
And as strange as it is to say, Rossi cannot run, which has been a crutch for him this drive. We're in the red zone, 6 yards out, going for that score to put them up 2 drives. Scott is open. Kenton at the back of the end zone elevates, does not elevate quite enough. Second down.
I am not surprised to see Alex Moreau probably playing a lot of man-to-man against Kenton. Alex is most probably their best defender. He's a very, very high-Q defender in flag. So him and Kenton should be an excellent matchup in the second half.
And Tony Curry is upset about something on the sidelines, came onto the field asking something of the official. In all honesty, I don't know what he saw, but there is clearly something he saw which he was not a fan of. Tony is a very, very opinionated man.
Fiery competitor, as we like to say.
The most endearing terms only. But he's a great guy. I've played with him. Honestly, one of the best teammates you can have, but not someone you want to play against. Second down now. Blanketed coverage. Throwing towards tip-toe Anania. That's good for 6. He went up, he elevated, he came down, and that's now a 2-score lead.
That is an unbelievable catch by Anania there, just over the outstretched arm of Vinny Galano, who's a savvy vet. When you're making plays over Vinny, that means obviously that play call was very well constructed.
Very well constructed and perfect ball placement. Something Jason has always done well in his FPF career is put the ball where only his receiver can catch it. If I was throwing that and I've started playing quarterback, not so successfully, I'd be worried about placing that because I didn't have the confidence to get it over to the defender. That being said, where he put it, yes, there's a chance it was incomplete, but the only person that could come down with that ball was his receiver. It was touchdown or incompletion. It was your perfect second down throw, and they're now going for one to make this, I believe. We have rusher interference.
Yeah.
The flag is thrown. It is good for a 1-point convert, and it will be a loss of down, i.e., an incomplete or unsuccessful convert.
So I believe the rule there is that is just the play is over. There is no convert, and we now move down to Creaky on offense.
Yeah, so when there is rusher interference, you can choose to move them 5 yards back. Tony is fired up, fiery Tony. Or you can simply choose to have a loss of down. A loss of down on a convert means an unsuccessful convert. There will be no yardage applied. We now will have first down Creaky Joints from their 10. Time is of the essence. Creaky Joints need to move quicker on this one.
I'm not sure what the conversation that's being had with the ref is. Since the convert was complete with the penalty, of course you accept the penalty and move on. So I'm not sure what they're talking about right now.
More than talking, I understand. It's fun to talk to refs. They're great guys. That being said, time is running. Your very precious 20 minutes to win a championship is ticking away. Your time to argue is not now. Accept the loss of down, take the ball, and let's go. Which I believe is what happened.
We're a little bit confused in the booth right now, so it looks like Jason Rossi is still on offense. I'm not sure why.
No. The ref is signaling first down Creaky Joints, but Jason Rossi has the ball in his hands. They've moved them 5 yards back.
I'm not sure I understand that. We'll have to get maybe a post-game explanation on this. Maybe we missed something.
I'm slightly confused here. It appears like they're going for one from their 10. Let's see what Jason has dialed up. 1-point convert from the 10-yard line. After that penalty, it sails incomplete. All in all, regardless, but I am slightly confused by that explanation.
Unless I am mistaken, if you can make the convert, if it's a successful convert, but you have a penalty, maybe you're allowed to redo it 5 yards further.
I think this is why we're not officials and we're here in the booth, if I'm being honest with you. Because I was 100% sure that was simply an unsuccessful convert. I now understand why Vinny was arguing. Even if it wasn't the logical thing to do, I would have been arguing as well.
I will definitely ask Brent Young after the game for an explanation, because it's very possible for the last 15 years I've had the rule wrong in my mind.
Entirely possible. Either way, we now have Creaky Joints down 2. They need to move quick. They complete it to the speedy Marty Freeman, who cannot gain any yards after the catch. The tackle was made immediately by Felix Fourreau of the Pacemakers defense.
Okay, now Felix is something that Felix is a guy I'm not that familiar with in FPF, but he's lined up against Marty, which is one of their most dangerous receivers. Exactly.
And we do see Creaky Joints moving quickly here. That being said, only attacking underneath. That's a 3-yard gain for Tony, setting up 3rd and 1. Is this your chance for a shot deep? We heard it before. Felix, a slightly left-known FPF defender, lining up in front of Marty. Does this smell like a post across the field to Mr. Friedman?
I was going to say fat post to Marty right now is probably going to work. You have hooks on the left side, maybe a slant left from Tony, and then just a fat post to Marty. That could be 6 right here.
And worst case, I feel like Vinny can run for the first down. Let's keep our eye on Marty Freeman, lined up to Vinny's left. He is running a drag across the field. There's going deep. It is thrown behind Marty. Since Vinny was scrambling, he had Marty open, but that's an extremely difficult throw to make scrambling to your left. He actually had both Mark Farley down the left sideline and Marty open. Simply put, scrambling, it makes any throw 5 times harder.
I was looking at Mark Farley, as I think you were as well. He looked open on the sidelines, but running and throwing at the same time, obviously very difficult. And this is a big 4th down right now.
This is a do-or-die 4th down. I know we've brought out that term a few times this game, but Creaky Joints have used their one mistake. Until their defense buys that mistake back, they are up against it. They need a yard here. Let's see what Vinny can do. He takes the snap. He looks towards the sideline. It's complete. It's dropped by Alex.
Oh, I think that he stopped the rotation of the ball and then it got knocked out, which in FPF rules, that is a first down. Let's check
That
the
being
replay.
said, if you're Pacemakers and that drop wins you the game, do you challenge it? Let's see. The ball is stopped. He comes in. I think that's a good catch. And to the officials' credit, a fantastic call, not an easy one to make. Going now deep to Mark Farley. Makes a man miss magical dancing hips for a gain of 12.
I mean, the play got reset right away. It looks like Pacemakers weren't ready on defense. Vinny saw it. Little streak from Mark Farley. Now looks like we got first and goal from around the 5.
That felt like a good old-fashioned NFL hurry-up. When you don't want to give them time to challenge it, you hurry up the play, you get the next one in. Pacemakers were thinking, do we challenge, do we not? What they weren't thinking about was what defense to call, and they got burnt by Mark Farley. We now have Creaky Joints at the 5-yard line. Vinny looks to his right, throws towards Tony. He reaches for the first down. Touchdown, Tony Curry. Spinning, reaching. They are back within striking distance. This is now a 7-point game. What's your logic? Down 7. Consider the onside kick. 1 or 2. What's the right call?
I think with enough time left in this game, I'm trying to go for 1. I want to cut it to, is it 25-19?
It's 19 to 25 right now.
So they're down by 6, which means I'm going to go for 1, get it to a 5-point game. Try and get a stop on defense. I know I have the extra point if I need it.
And it's towards Tony. He's slipping. He's reaching. We hope he's okay. The ball is up. The 1 point is good. And Tony is sprawled out across the pitch. He is all right. That's good to see. And now we're back within 5 points. See, I would have disagreed. I would have gone for 2 there. With 10 minutes left, if you start speeding up this game, there's a world where you can score enough 2-point converts to bring this back to a 1-score game, to have a drive at the end down 8 where a touchdown and a 2-point convert can tie it up and bring it to overtime. That's not what the old Joints opted for, which does surprise me for a team that completed 11 2-point converts this season. Maybe a lack of confidence, maybe a game plan that they see that I don't. Either way, it's Rossi with the ball towards Anani on the sideline, who may be his go-to target on this game. Tackled by Farley. Now, with 10 minutes left, it's time we start thinking of finals MVP. I have 2 contenders right now. We have, of course, the quarterback, the easy option, my least favorite option, of course. Jason has played a perfect game, but we also have Ananya with a huge touchdown catch and an interception. Those are my 2 contenders right now for MVP. Any names I'm missing?
I'm completely on the same page as you right now. Justin and Annie played an unbelievable game, a pick, some scores. Obviously, the quarterback's always an option, but let's see what happens.
And let's see what Jason has here. Completing towards Scott Binns, a physical tackle made immediately by, I believe that is Denis Martel. Setting up now, second and short, clock running. We have less than 10 minutes left in this Division 35+ finals. We are live now from Brossard, Quebec. Alexis Dubois in the booth with FPF owner Jeff Rosenblatt. Second down, trying to get this score back to a 2-possession lead, which is oh so important. Let's see what Rossi has here. Second down, we're looking for a 6-yard gain for first, 16 yards out from the end zone. He scrambles to his left. He flips his hips to his right. It is nearly a catch. It is nearly a sack. It is nearly interception, yet it is none of those. It is an incomplete pass.
Dangerous pass again from Jason Rossi looking for Kenton. It looks like they've actually made a big change on defense with Marty Friedman now starting to rush. I think Jason was using his legs a little bit too much for the Creaky Joints liking, so they put a little bit of a faster guy, Marty Friedman, there to rush.
Who's a fantastic athlete. He's fantastic across the board, but it's definitely going to hurt this Creaky Joints defense to have Marty Friedman not in coverage. Because while a good rusher, I think he's a better defender, but that's the second time we've seen Jason miss Kenton on, we were just singing way too many of Marty's praises. He misses Jason there. He had the sack, and what a huge sack that could have been. We could have been staring down a 4th and long. Instead, Jason flipped those hips, made him miss, and ran for the first down. Let's watch the replay here. Marty comes barreling in, misses the sack. The good old twist and turn moves, shakes Friedman away. Mogul chases him down, but not after Rossi gained the first down.
Had Marty got that flag, that would have been a game-changing play. Would have been 4th and long. What a play by Rossi to evade the rush there, and now we got first and goal from around the 6.
First and goal from the 6, exactly what we had at the end of the second half when Rossi looked for Anania at the back of the end zone. He's also like low on crossers. Hugo Alamo is your traditional big red zone target. Let's see what he's thinking of here. This ball comes out immediately to Kenton Lowe. An angry catch for a touchdown. It is now a 2-possession lead. They're up 5. 5 plus 6, 11. 11, the convert does not really matter here.
No, it doesn't. But I'm going to say I was looking at the coverage here, and Denis Martel was just giving Kenton a little bit too much space to run that hook at the goal line. I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive. This game is obviously not over, but we need to see a little bit more aggressive defense from Creaky Joints.
You're entirely right. There's nothing wrong with being aggressive and giving up the touchdown, but if you're being soft and letting someone catch a hook in front of you on the goal line, that's not aggressive. That's under-aggressive. That's slightly too easy. We have Scott Binns and Marty Friedman having a nice, pleasant discussion. Very gentlemanly in 35+. Rossi fires this off. Intercepted by Denis Martel. He's lumbering down the field. And now I believe Tony Curry is calling for a last-man-back tripping call, which he will not get, but it's a valiant effort from a savvy vet.
Okay, so we have an 11-point game now. Obviously, we're thinking if Creaky Joints score, they're going to have to go for the onside kick, I believe. I think the time is about 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left if we have the right timing here. But I'm thinking Creaky Joints has to be thinking score and onside kick.
I entirely agree, but here's where not going for 2 makes the difference. They're down 11 now. Now imagine they went for 2, got it, they're down 10. They score, get a 2-point convert, still down 2. Down 2 with the other team in possession is technically a 1-possession game, because then Pacemakers come down the field. Remember, up 2, score, go up 8. They then need that 1-point convert to be able to make it a 2-possession game, and that's why I think going for 1 instead of 2 was a significant mistake on their last drive. Either way, it is second down. Vinny under center. Outstretched Tony Turi catches the ball. A lot of contact there. There is a flag. I think this will be on Tony. And there's a push. It's getting heated.
That's a classic Tony Curry possibly flop, but let's see how the refs deal with this play.
There was a shove. I believe there was a flop. And there is also an initial flag. I think the first flag was on, and now the refs signal it, on the defense. We're going to be moving up. That being said, Tony does seem to be getting into Kenton's head, and regardless of there being a flop, is a shove like that something worthy of an objectional conduct?
I think maybe. I mean, again, Tony is very savvy. He likes to get into the heads of the opponents. That's something he's been doing his whole career. So Kenton has to probably control his emotions a little bit more and not do that shove, but it looks like Creaky Joints are getting a lot of penalty yards right now.
Entirely. I think the first charging call was the right one. I'm with you, surprised there was not an objectional conduct flag there. There is no room for shoving. There's no room for that kind of physicality in FPF. When we have Vinny running off to his left, he flips his hips, he looks to throw. We have a diving tackle by Brockwell that changed what could have been a 10-yard gain into a small little 3. Great rushing by Chris Brockwell after getting burnt on the first play of the game. Has been money ever since.
Chris Brockwell, one of the unspoken heroes of FPF and this game. Not a guy that gets talked about a lot, but he is very sound.
Is he in finals MVP conversation or not quite enough offensive production?
I want to say
Denis Martel drops the ball there on second down.
I want to say probably not enough production on his end in this game. There are a few other guys, but he is obviously a huge part of this team, both sides of the ball.
He's probably a touchdown or an interception away from being in that finals MVP conversation. Most definitely agreed. A drop there from Martel on what was second down, setting up third down, 3rd and 5 from outside the red zone. Vinny can run, he can throw. Let's see what the choice is here. He steps behind Tony Curry, hands on his hips. He looks to his left, he flicks his hips. It is caught by Alex Moreau. It looks to be enough for a first down, but not quite enough for a touchdown. We have 3 minutes, 30 seconds here. The game plan for these old joints has to be score an onside kick. A conversation is happening. I'm not entirely sure what about.
Yes. Was there a timeout that was just called? Possibly a timeout was just called by Creaky Joints. They would still have 1 remaining for their onside kick, but again, I'm not sure if our time is exactly what the refs have. We'll try and get that clean.
That's a really good reminder, Jeff. The time you see on your screen is unofficial. Head referee always has the time on his watch. The time we have here is simply trying to help you out. And yes, we do see, I believe, referee signaling timeout. Time will start on the snap, first and goal. There is a whistle. There is a whistle because there was first no whistle. That play was not in.
Agreed. They did not. The refs did not whistle the play in, so they're going to start again. I wonder if Creaky Joints are going to change their play because they may have tipped their hat to the Pacemakers defense. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so I think Creaky Joints are changing their play, but look, no huddle from the Pacemakers defense. Vinny has to know whatever defense he saw in the last play, he has again. Time is in. The snap goes to Vinny. He scrambles to his left, catches to Mark Farley. Touchdown. It is time for an onside kick. And that's exactly what we're signaling here. Timeout is taken. Creaky Joints are going to take their one shot at an onside kick. Now, Jeff, what is your go-to play for an onside kick attempt?
I think if I'm the Creaky Joints, I don't know if they have someone that they can drop to be the second quarterback. So let's say assume that they're not. I'm looking at probably two goes from my left receivers. I'm looking at Tony Curry running a wheel on the right side, and then Marty Friedman running a big in at the midline, and try and convert that play with Marty.
I like that play call. I might save that for my Division Co-Ed 3 game a bit later on. I'll write it down after this game. They do have Marty Friedman, who's played quarterback for them a game this season. That being said, I don't think you want to take Marty out. This is the receiver I'm looking at. We have a huge onside kick coming up. Vinny scrambles to his left. He airs it out towards the field. Caught by Vinny, and he's running towards the end zone.
Oh, my God.
Now, that is a savvy play. Not only is the onside kick caught, Vinny chose not to score.
That was unbelievable wits, like you said, by Marty Friedman. You get to the goal line and you take a knee because you want to have 4 downs to score and try and waste some more time instead of giving the ball back. And it looks like they did run that big into Marty at the goal line.
Exactly what you call it. And this is why you don't drop Marty Friedman as your second QB. Despite not having the most yards in 35 plus, if you're looking at this from a pure talent level, Marty Friedman is an athlete who can play in the highest divisions of FPF. I'm surprised he's 35 years old because he's looking great, and he's looking like one of the best receivers on the pitch at the moment.
That was just an unbelievable play. Like you said, of course, Marty Friedman playing on the silent ticklers in Division 2, played a lot of top divisions over the years, and that was just a great play call and great execution from Creaky.
100%. We now have first and goal. Creaky Joints threatening to take the lead back for the first time since early in the first half. Vinny scrambles to his left. It looks like he's going to take a knee. He does take a knee. That's an illegal run. Now, I've got another rules question for you. Does time continue running on a penalty, or does it stop?
I don't believe it does. I think the time is going to stop. So that was unfortunately a big mental error there from Vinny, because I think the clock stops and they basically are probably losing 5 yards there and losing it down and the clock stopping. So that's a tough play right there for Creaky.
He needs to take a knee is what he needs to do. Note, we see the clock, the winding symbol you saw by the official's right arm. From what I understand is the universal symbol for time in, which would mean time is running at the moment. We are in the pro clock. So what Creaky Joints are trying to do at the moment is milk every last second out of this game and score with 20 to 30 seconds left. Let's see what they're dialing up on second down. Are they throwing? They are throwing. Back in the end zone. It is dropped.
Oh, my God. A wide open drop there. That was an unfortunate play for Creaky Joints. I'm not sure who the receiver was there, but now it looks like third down and goal. It is none of those receivers we have on our sheet, so we'll have to look into that.
We will have to look into that, or we won't look into that because there's just a few seconds left in this game. Either way, it's third down. That was the go-ahead touchdown. And remember, incomplete pass means the clock stops. There's a world where Vinny takes a knee and runs 40 more seconds off the clock, but the worst-case scenario was a second down incompletion. That's exactly what they got, setting up a huge third down. Down 5 points. Vinny Galano, under center, takes the snap, looks to his right, looks towards Marty, and sacked!
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What a sack by Chris Brockwell. Vinny was looking for the in and out for Marty. That was covered really well. And now we have a fourth down, and we have Denny Martell. It looks like, is he talking to the... Okay.
I think he's heated with his own team. I think it's something along the words was, I was very open. Please throw me the ball, kind sir. In exactly those terms, no other verbiage was included.
So it looks like Pacemakers are taking a timeout. We have fourth, and it looks like about 10, I would say. What are you calling here on this play? I'm not sure what I'm calling at this point.
That's a good question. And I'm going to give you a play now that I'll use from around 10 yards out. And this is Creaky Joints essentially going for a 2-point convert to win the game. They have completed 11 2-point converts this season, so it's a position where they are comfortable. What I like, trips to your strong side, call it the left. Hook at the back, and in on the goal line from the trips receiver, and hook your snapper on the goal line. Essentially, you have to create one of those two short defenders, make them choose between a 12-yard hook and an in on the goal line or an out, and then essentially Vinny stares down one and throws the other. Yeah. That's what I'm calling. This does seem like Marty Friedman time.
Doesn't it always seem like Marty Friedman time? Marty, party Marty, let's see what happens.
4th down, we can call this 4th and game. Vinny Galano is under center for the Creaky Joints. He takes the snap, he looks to his left, he loads up, he throws.
Oh my God! What a one-handed catch right there. Unbelievable.
He made up for his previous drop. It's all about the show. Outstretched arm, reels it in. My man, we wish we knew your name. We unfortunately don't, but that is the catch of the game. Oh. The Creaky Joints go up by 1, and now you do not run this convert.
That was unbelievable. We don't know who you are, but we love you. That was one of the most amazing one-handed finals, 35-plus catches I've ever seen. Like you said, making up for the drop before. Now we just have to try to find out how much time is left in this game for the Pacemakers.
We have a very early contender for catch of the day. There is no more high-pressure moment. And I can tell you, it was most definitely in his head thinking, I think we have a challenge for the record. I think Pacemakers are challenging that was a catch.
Okay, now
I think it was a catch, but they have a challenge. You do not want to go to bed with a challenge, and this is why you challenge for the sake of challenging and to catch your breath.
100%. I mean, I think there's no doubt that that was a catch, but you're definitely going to use your challenge if you have to. What an unbelievable catch.
And now it becomes a question. So if this is a catch, we then have a few seconds left in the game for Pacemakers. If the touchdown stands, and my expectation, and I was wrong before, is that the touchdown will stand. We then have, again, a few seconds left. That being said, if this is an incomplete pass, that was 4th down, and it will essentially be game over. This is a huge call coming up. Let's look at the end zone. He stabs this with one hand, secures it. The ball doesn't look to move. I see no conclusive video evidence to overrule this play. But again, I was wrong before. Vinny here scrambles to his left, loads, tosses towards the back of the end zone, caught, knee down, inbounds. And remember, it is 1 foot. I think this is a good catch. That camera angle, though, from the back of the end zone is our best one so far. Have you seen anything here which could overturn this play?
I don't think so. It doesn't look like at any point he was out of bounds. He's coming there. Just an unbelievable one-handed catch. I think that is just a touchdown. All the way, his knee down in bounds. To me, that's a touchdown.
He had a foot. He might have even had a knee. There's a conversation where this is good 3 years ago in FPF when you needed 2 feet. If you're asking did he have 1 foot in bounds or any one body part, the answer, for this announcer at least, is yes. But again, we do not have the definitive call on this one quite yet. We still have our official Brent Young up in the box examining our video evidence. Another reminder, we need something conclusive. The same way as our call earlier in the game was not overturned, possibly because of a lack of conclusive video evidence, we need here a replay which shows beyond a doubt that this was an incomplete pass. I have not seen anything yet which seems to show that it was incomplete.
I completely agree. This looks like a touchdown all the way. I don't even think he looks that close to the end line. Let's see one more time here. Knee down.
I think you have knee and foot down.
Yeah, that just looks inbounds the whole way unless we're missing something. I think that touchdown is going to stand. And we have to try to find out how much time is left in this game, how many plays are left for the Pacemakers.
Yeah, hopefully as Mr. Young walks past us, we can get a quick call off him. But he's still looking at this one. We still are waiting on it. And the longer this video replay goes, the more they're looking at. They could also potentially be looking, is there a push-off at the top of this route? Look at the right arm of the receiver. It extends slightly into Justin and Anya. Those are two very beefy men, that being said. I don't think there's any contact there, which is enough to merit overturning the call. We stab the ball. We secure it. We have a foot down. We are repeating ourselves at this point. Just to be clear, we're running through the same line again and again. But I'm really happy to see our officials taking our time on this one. This is one of the biggest calls of the day, definitely of the game, you want to make sure you get it right.
I would agree. Take the time you need to make sure you get the call right. Do we see something different from this angle? I don't think we got that in time.
No, on that angle, we don't see enough. We're kind of looking at this from the back of the play. As a question again, like the more experienced FPF teams will give you an idea.
Sorry, Brent. How much time is left?
Under a minute.
Under a minute. Okay.
Perfect. We have under a minute left. We've just asked our referee, Brent Young. That being said, he did not give us the call. The suspense is building up. Do we have a game-winning touchdown? Is this somehow an incompletion? The final resides on this call. Brent Young is jogging out towards our head official. They talk quickly. A call has been rendered. We're still waiting on the decision. The suspense is at an all-time high. Touchdown stands! Pacemakers had to be expecting that. That was a Hail Mary of a challenge. They now have less than a minute to try to win this game. It's still possible.
So who would you rather be right now? Would you rather be the Pacemakers with under a minute, or would you rather be Creaky Old Joints playing defense?
It's a really good question. We have to remember that the Pacemakers, have they used any timeouts yet? Or do they have both? Because we remember that a challenge does not consume a timeout.
Correct. I believe they only used one, but again, I could be mistaken.
For me, it really depends how much time there's left here. Are we going to be attempting the convert? There is absolutely no reason to attempt this convert. What I think Creaky Old Joints might do here is run the ball around for a few seconds, but time does not run on a convert. What they cannot stand for here is a convert which is returned. It is not returned. And we have a nice little bit of sportsmanship between rusher Brockwell and quarterback Vinny. We now have a definitive drive coming up. Pacemakers have the ball. Less than a minute left. They are down 1, trying to win the 35-plus championship. They need a score, and they need it now. Who is their last-minute hero, Jeff?
Man, this is tough. Give me Chris Brockwell to make a huge play somehow here.
Interesting. I think
Except
Chris Brockwell might be on the
is
sideline.
not on the field. So once again,
Instead, we're looking towards the sideline, and Justin Anania tackled immediately. Time is running. That is a savvy vet making a slight mistake. You want to get out of bounds there to stop the clock. No first down, no out of bounds. Clock is running. Tick-tock goes down this championship clock. Pacemakers have less and less time to get the score they need to concretize their championship dreams. Now we are looking once again towards the sidelines, nearly intercepted by Vinny Galano. Could the Creaky Old Joints be on the verge of pulling off one of the biggest upsets? Remember, this is a team that started off 1-9, came into the playoffs having scored the least points, having conceded the most. For the record, that's a very bad combination. And now are a few seconds away from being crowned 35-plus championships. But it's not over yet. Pacemakers are looking to spoil this upset. Jason Rossi has the ball in his hands. He's looking deep. He's looking towards Hugo Alamo. Incomplete. Great pass defended by Alex Moreau. That was a clean play, but it was a critical one.
Do we have? Am I correct? This is now fourth down.
It is fourth down.
This is fourth
And
down.
you remember, the very first touchdown of the game was a Hugo Alamo touchdown caught over the head of Marty Freeman. Alex Moreau has redeemed this Creaky Old Joints defense. He did not get beat deep. He flipped his hips. He got behind Hugo and made a great play on the ball, avoided any form of contact, and is set up now a do or die. For real this time, I promise. Fourth down. Rossi, waiting for the snap, flashes his hands, takes it low to his right. He looks towards a crosser. It is towards Hugo Alamo.
Oh
who
my
makes
God!
The catch. He
No,
loses
his
the
flag is
flag.
down. His flag was down. I believe his flag was down. What a play by Hugo. What a catch. Oh my God, how much time is left in this game?
Wow. Now we have to remember he was touched inbounds, which means clock will wind on the ready-to-play whistle.
Yes.
Timeout taken by the Pacemakers. Clock will now start on the snap. The ball is spotted at the 5-yard line. There are no timeouts left for either team.
There are 20. I just got the now. There are 24 seconds left in this game.
That's a ton of
Ton
time.
of time. Ton of time.
Wow.
Pacemakers in a very good situation right now. Creaky Joints were one defensive stop away from ending this game, and now it looks like that everything is completely swept. We got 24 seconds left, 1st and 5 from
Pacemakers
from
in the driver's seat with 24 seconds on the clock, looking to go up 1. Jason fires towards the end of the end zone. Touchdown! Scott Binns. Pacemakers take back the lead. 20 seconds left. They are up 5. This is time for a 2-point convert, if you ask me. Pacemakers came back from the brink.
So now let's look at the flip side. We got 20 seconds left. Can you score with 20 seconds left? You can.
You can, but no timeouts left, which means you need to complete everything deep. Interesting choice here. Again, I think it may be the wrong one. They're going for 1. They're up 5, trying to make it a 6-point game in their shoes. 1 or 2-point convert.
I would definitely be going for 2 here, but let's see how this ends up playing out.
So a 1-point convert makes this a 6-point game with 20 seconds on the clock. If not, a touchdown would be enough from the old joints. Rossi, under center, looking for the 1-point convert. He looks towards the back of the end zone, fires towards Kenton Lowe. It's tipped up in the air. Convert is no good. Now, we have 20 seconds left. The Pacemakers will be playing soft, but they'll also be looking to take away those 10-yard outs. If I'm Vinny, who has a big arm, this first down play might be your best chance to sling it deep.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you have to get at least 10 yards on this play to stop the clock before the first down whistle is ready. So you can't complete any passes that aren't a first down, or you're going to run out of time.
You'd rather have an incomplete pass than anything completed under 10 yards inbounds. What is also completely okay, and you might see a few times, is a quick pass completed on the sidelines. Look at Alex Moreau stretched out wide on the right. You have Freeman to Vinny's right. You have Moreau there. Freeman runs it out.
Oh my God, Marty on the wheel!
And it's a huge gain. He's tackled inbound. Clock is stopped. We'll start on the whistle. 12 seconds left in the 35-plus finals.
Wow.
These old folks are bringing out the magic.
They gave up the wheel. I'm very surprised they gave up the wheel to Marty right there. Time is going to start on the whistle, like you said. Or do they take a shot right now? I guess they might have
We're
to.
still waiting for the whistle. The whistle's in. Clock is there. Marty scrambles to his right. Fires towards the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Clock is stopped. Marty looks disappointed. So does Vinny. That being said, there's nothing wrong there stopping the clock. Take a second. Breathe. You have 2 shots to win this game.
I don't mind that play at all. Now the clock is stopped. They get to reset, call their play. Might have been something that he did on purpose anyways to throw the ball out of bounds, and I agree. It looks like they probably have two shots at the end zone here to try to win the game.
2 shots at the end zone to win the game. 2nd down, 9 yards out. What 9 yards out means is there's no possibility of a first down, which means that the only way to stop the clock is by getting it out of bounds. A pass completed inbounds would most likely end this game. 2nd down, 9 yards out. Vinny looking to come back from the brink of death. Fires towards the front of the end zone. Incomplete. There's still time on the clock. 3rd down.
Are we getting the last play signal right now?
I don't think we have it yet. 3rd down, last play of the game.
Here it is. So this is do or die right here. Are we looking for the Marty party? I don't know who I'm looking for right now. Maybe our man that got the one-handed catch. I don't know who we're going to right now, but I got to tell you, this is an exciting first finals. I'll give you that.
The bar has been set ridiculously high. Everyone else needs to live up to this 35-plus benchmark. We have 3rd and goal. Final play of your Division 35-plus finals from the 9-yard line. Vinny takes the snap, scrambles to his left, towards Mark Farley, batted away, incomplete. Pacemakers are your champions.
Wow.
That ball was in his hands.
Let's see the replay there. That was so close. Just batted out at the last second by James Acker. Nice route. I don't think he ever fully stopped the rotation and caught it. That was so close. But I think that was bobbling a little bit before
I think that was
knocked
bobbling.
out.
We saw earlier in the game Alex Moreau stop the rotation of the ball.
Exactly.
And then have it called a catch despite it spilling out. That ball never stopped rotating. It was constantly juggling. We were around half a rotation away from winning this one from a catch from Mark Farley. Instead, Pacemakers have come back from the onside kick. They scored with a minute left. We have an exuberant Jason Rossi on the pitch. What a win. What a final. What a fantastic way to get this 35. What a fantastic way to get this finals broadcast started.
I think
We'll be going down to the pitch now in a few seconds. We'll be live, I believe, with Ben McMahon pitch side for a presentation of the banner and our finals MVP. Very excited to see who it is. Now, that was a fantastic game. Is this the game of the day? Will it get any better?
Is this the game of the weekend? That game was score, back, score, back, score. That was unbelievable. They're going to let us know where we're going down to the field for the MVP talk. But, what a game. Really back and forth. I think that last play, like you said, he didn't quite stop the rotation of the ball. It looked like the ball was still moving a little bit in his hands when James Acker was able to bat it out. So, again, you have to stop the rotation for it to be a catch. I think it was a very close play. But in the end, congratulations to Pacemakers. It was an unbelievable game. Creaky Joints put up a great fight there and a really exciting first game.
You're entirely right. It was a tough call. I'm sure that Creaky Joints wish they still had a challenge left to review that one. That being said, in terms of made for television product, in terms of entertainment value, I thought this game was done 2 or 3 different times. We had the successful onside kick, Marty Freeman taking the knee at the 4, a huge drop on second down. We then had a stabbing one-handed catch on 4th down to put Creaky Joints in the lead. 1 minute left on the clock. We turned things around. Pacemakers scored, went up, and then Creaky Joints just ran out of steam, which means Pacemakers are your champions.
Now that I'm getting a closer look, it looks like Justine Edwards, which was our mystery man. Now that I'm getting a closer look at him that made the one-hand catch. What a game by him. What a game by Creaky Joints. Honestly, not much to say right now. Everyone's celebrating, and now we're just waiting for the go-ahead to go down to the field from our producers so we can get a little interview and trophy celebration and presentation from the commissioner, Ben McMahon. Looks like we're a few seconds away from that happening. They're taking some pictures down there. The Pacemakers are, but again, congratulations to the Pacemakers. That was a great win by them.
It was a great win, and while we're waiting to go down to field level, what do we have coming up next?
So now we have a little bit of a break, long story, but the next game I believe is either the 4A or 4B championship. We're going to check the schedule, but coming back live at 3:45 on Facebook and YouTube. That will be our next game, 3:45.
Perfect, and we're now throwing down to field level with Ben McMahon.
Out here.
Let's go! Yeah. Let's go. 2 people. Let's go, boys.
Also, I'm going to ask for the captain again to step forward because he is the game MVP as well. Jason, come here for a second.
Thank you.
You guys faced some adversity late in the game.
Did.
You had to come up with a clutch drive at the end. So
We
what was
did.
going through your mind when you had to make that final drive?
Stay calm. Trust your guys. You know they can do it. They've been doing it all year. Everybody here is a dog. We had no stress, none whatsoever. We knew we were going to go in and punch it in.
Great season, guys. Great win. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's go! Let's fucking go!
And there you have it. I think we're now back in the booth. I'm Alexis Dubois here with Jeff Rosenblatt. Pacemakers take it in a hard-fought battle. They are your 35-plus champions. Stay tuned. Coming up in roughly an hour, we'll have Division 4 with you. Now we're signing off for the moment. Back very soon. I'm Alexis Dubois along with
Jeff Rosenblatt signing off. Great working with you, partner. We're back at 3:45 for the next game, and we'll see you then.
Stay tuned. Thank you.
Good job, man. Yo.